Sylvia, welcome to F.A.C.E.
Dale, do you hear me?
In a tunnel. How
Uh,
about now?
You seem to be a little bit far away from the microphone. It's not that you
is
don't
it now
sound
better?
somewhat. If you can raise the volume a little bit, would be even better.
Wait, let me just check the settings real quick.
Make sure that the correct microphone is chosen from Zoom, because if you have, for example, a camera, it also has a microphone, and that might be the microphone
Yeah, I
that's
have here a separate microphone. Let me just check real quick.
There
that's
you
much
go.
better. That's much better.
Is it better? Okay,
Oh,
great.
perfect.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
You
Well,
want
it's
to
nice.
share your screen?
Yeah, very nice to meet you, Sylvia. Have you
Nice
used
to
Zoom
meet you,
before?
Dale.
Yeah, have you used your Zoom before?
For a little bit, yes, but not many times.
There is a
Okay,
green
so
button called share screen.
Oh, yeah, I see, yeah. Let me share.
beautiful.
Are you able
Okay,
to see my screen?
we've
Yes.
got it.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
All right. So Sylvia, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate that. Always
Uh,
a pleasure to connect with some other traders.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in intelligence gathering, and we only have two eyes, and if you're surrounded with people that have good eyes, they could point your attention towards something you may not have seen on your own. So, I like to,
Absolutely.
yeah, I like to start these off by asking our guests how it all began for you, what you were doing before you got involved in trading, how you got involved in trading. Could you tell us a little bit about the journey that you had at the beginning? What most people didn't train for this, they ended
Yes.
up in this. So uh, tell us a little bit about, your first gig, first exposure to the trading industry.
Sure. So I started a while ago, but before I started, maybe just a little bit about myself. I'm coming from Bulgaria, so I came to Germany a couple of years ago. It's I think like after I finished, it's around 15 years ago.
Okay.
So I just immigrated to Germany, started to study here. Started learn the language, and my whole family was in Bulgaria back then. So I just left them there, tried to look for some new career opportunities and make my way here through the world alone, so to say. And
Yeah.
then started to study. After that, I was done and started to work for different projects and companies, mostly as a IT project manager.
Okay.
And yeah, from there, I somehow, while I was studying, actually, I discovered trading, and it was very interesting because the professor who where I went to this university, so he was talking about George Soros, and this was
Oh,
my first connection to trading overall. So I first heard about him and how he made that billion
yeah.
dollar trade, with the British
Yeah.
pound. And
Yeah.
I was so excited about that. And since then, everything started. So I went back home, started to study, and started to read books, listen to different webinars and stuff like that to get involved into the market. And I find it pretty interesting since then. And so I kept going and went through a lot of ups and downs, of course, like every trader does, I think.
Right.
And of course, a lot of losses as well. I've went through a lot. So I started with forex, then I continued with penny stocks, day trading, swing
Yes.
trading, but mostly I kept doing this day trading stuff. And at some point I realized, well, this is somehow not fitting to my personality. I don't like sitting in front of the computer and watching all day the charts,
Right.
every single tick. And that's not something what I do. I know there are a lot of people who do that successfully, and I think this is a very challenging skill to have as a day trader and to be a successful day trader. But I realized this is not something for me, and continue to develop myself in swing trading. To read books,
Mhm.
continue to try more in the stock market, and that's how I started developing myself and start to see consistent results. So after a while, I just stopped day trading, because day trading was more for me like, all the profits which I made from swing trading, I gave back while day trading. That was how it was for a long time.
Yeah, well, it's a process and it takes time to find what fits your personality. So you have to sometimes do the thing that doesn't work for you
Yeah,
to,
absolutely.
guide you to something that, fits your lifestyle and personality. And, that's something Jack Schwager said to me once, that most important thing that traders need to
Absolutely.
do is
Absolutely.
find something that fits their personality. Did you have a mentor, or were there any books on charting or any major influences that helped you along the way?
Yes, I had a mentor at the beginning. It was someone in the US area. So it was very interesting, of course, to connect with him. He always motivated me and kept me going. And I had a lot of setbacks, of course. I wanted to quit a lot of times in the past. But then knowing from where I am coming from and how is it there, I'm just someone who keeps fighting. But I have to say, really, trading was one of the toughest thing I have ever done. Even after this time coming here to Germany and doing all that on my own, this was tough enough. But then trading
Yeah.
was really also maybe as tough as all that whole my journey. So it was really tough, and I had a lot of situations and moments where you're making two steps and then you're going three steps back, and this back and forth until you see consistency. So I really had a lot of points where I wanted to quit and just stop. But
Yeah.
the good thing is when you have a mentor that he always somehow managed to drag me back into trading and keep me motivated, and
Who
so I
was it? Do you
continued.
mind sharing who it was?
No, I don't mind. His name is Doug Rumor.
Okay. What's the name one more time?
Doug Rumor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, but yeah, that's one of the most important things a mentor could do for somebody is to encourage, be an
Absolutely,
encourager.
absolutely.
And you know what, Sylvia, innately listening to your story, how courageous of you to, a lot of people talk about it. I talk about it. Well, I'm going to leave the US and look for a different life. And at time, it's so much easier to say than
Yeah.
actually do, and leave your family behind and then take on trading. You're a warrior.
Thank you.
All right. So anyway, a very interesting story. You're still in Germany?
Yes, I'm still in Germany. I was traveling to, I was in Bulgaria a while ago. So normally I'm switching those locations because I have my family in Bulgaria
Yeah.
still and I want to visit them. But now with this COVID, I'm stuck here for a while. So,
Yeah. If you look at member chats, you have a couple, I believe, countrymen that are saying hello to you, Georgie,
oh,
and yeah.
nice.
So,
Hi, everyone. Oh,
yeah,
nice to
yeah,
see you. Some
yeah.
Bulgarians too.
Yeah, see, so what was the reason you want? Was it economic opportunity that motivated you to go to Germany from Bulgaria?
Yeah, absolutely. So in
Okay.
Bulgaria, the life is not that easy. I am sure some of the people who are here in the chat will agree with that. So life is not easy. You have some opportunities now. It is getting better, but back then, I didn't see a lot of opportunities to, to go on a certain career path. So I thought somewhere in a foreign country like Germany, which is more advanced country economically, I thought this is where I can achieve more, and that was pretty much the reason. I didn't want to stay there and not knowing that all my work of studying and stuff like that would pay off. So that was the decision behind
Okay.
that.
Okay. So I believe we're looking at Nasdaq here. Is that the chart?
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay. So Tell us, what you're looking at. It doesn't look real complex. I notice you have, is that RSI at the bottom? I'm a
Yes,
big
exactly.
user of RSI.
Yeah.
And what are those moving averages or
Some
bands
moving
or?
averages, yes. So basically, I am really trying to keep it as simple as possible. I am not a fan of too many indicators, too many drawings. I don't like all that. My whole
Right.
focus has always been looking at the support and resistance areas,
Yeah.
drawing those areas on the chart, and trying to, to go from there. So, for example, I try to, when I open up the chart, try to identify those support and resistance areas. For example, here was a previous support. Here is also a small support area. Here was a resistance area which was rejected nicely yesterday
Yep.
on the NASDAQ because of this news. Here is
Right.
another high. So those are the levels which I'm looking at mostly. And then I'm
Okay.
trying to work my way on the chart or trade from those levels. I'm not really paying. So I'm looking at those moving averages and RSIs, but I don't really use them for entering or exiting the trade. So
Okay. What do you use RSI for? Just overbought, oversold markets, or do you
exactly.
use them for divergences? Or, for example, in August, the RSI was at a new high along with price, and I call
Exactly.
that a confirmed high. And there's a message in that for me too. So,
Yeah.
how do you use RSI?
So RSI in this case, I used to see those overbought areas. I try to not to continue longing or mostly of the time for looking for scaling out of my position. So I'm trying to buy the dips. And
Yep.
after that, when I'm always in that trade, trying to look at the resistance areas in combination with RSI and try to scale out of these positions
Okay.
near those resistance areas, and looking at the RSI as well. Here was a point where I started closing most of my positions, actually even earlier, even here. Then we
Right.
saw this huge move. I started closing, and see we have then after that this huge drop. So mostly
Okay.
for scaling out. I'm not shorting. I never short the US indices, even if
Interesting.
yes,
Okay. There's
I'm
nothing
just
that's actually, it's been a great policy.
yeah,
I
yes,
wish I had. I wish I over the last 10 years. I wish I would have had that rule. So, so do you also? You talk about scaling out. Do you scale in?
Yes, I do. So most of the time, maybe for the people out there who don't know my strategy, I'm looking for, of course, looking on the US indices most of the time, but also I'm looking at a lot of stocks. So I'm trying to build my watch list based on some growth stocks. So I'm looking at the
Okay.
fundamentals of those stocks, trying to find stocks with growth potential. And from there I start longing them, and because I'm looking on the fundamentals of those, looking for growth, there is for me no reason to short them. So I look for specifically only for long setups. And
Okay.
stuff like AMD, for example, or Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
which are not getting a little bit slaughtered in this current
Yeah.
correction. But
Yeah. Let me ask you this: you mainly trade off a daily, or do you drill down on time frames, or are you able just to trade off a daily chart?
I am mostly trading of the daily. I'm looking at the hourly as well, just to see how is the picture there too. But most of the time, I'm looking at on the daily, using some options as well for the indices. So for this, for SPY and Nasdaq, and sometimes YMs, I'm looking to use options on those, just buying calls as soon as I see some bigger pullback. And
Okay.
the other stocks which I'm trading, I use just the stocks. So that's how.
Okay. So let's talk about what's happening recently. You talked about the nice rejection we had yesterday, and we're getting a little follow through to the downside. I believe the best trades are not the ones where you turn on your platform and say, well, you know what, that looks pretty good, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because that is and I've done it, so I still do it sometimes, but that's really kind of impulse trading, and the best trades are, things that you plan on your kitchen table. So what's your plan going forward with the NASDAQ after digesting the last 2 days action?
Yes.
Where would you be looking to start buying it again?
Well, now it depends a little bit on the current sector rotation. So we saw,
Okay.
like you said already, we have this huge gap up yesterday. It was we hit the 3,000. We see exactly 30,000 here on the Dow, which means people started, of course, based on this vaccine news, started to put money into that cruise airlines and stuff like that, and getting out of those home plays like Zoom and all those software plays and stuff like this. So I'm trying to stay patient, see, of course, what is going to happen here. But mainly the support levels are here. This is the 10,944 and 10,668 areas. So if we see some kind of a consolidation into those levels here, I would look for some reversal candles, stuff like this here, where I start longing. If we hold, like I said, with those consolidation or just something similar to see this is a rejecting area and will continue to go up. And that's my plan. Like I said, I'm not shorting those. I'm waiting. If I see here starting to build a base and consolidation area above the moving averages, and if we don't test those lows, it's fine by me too. I'm just trying to find out what this thing is going to do in the next days, weeks, and I will go from there.
Okay, so I'm guessing the big blue line is your 200-day. What are the moving averages that you have that are very close and intertwine and cross with each other up there?
Yes. I don't use them really for a buying signal. I'm trying just to find out, is it staying above or below? In a sideways market, it is hard to use moving averages anyways. So we are currently in this kind of a phase and cycle here where you have this sideways action where
and what are they, like 9-day? What are the different moving averages that you're using there?
So the different moving averages I have here, 9, 20, and 50, and this is here, like I said already, the 200. So this is how I am.
How did you select those to use those? Just something that, I've used things that they were just on my chart, so I started using them. Was there any kind of selection process in coming up with?
I don't think so. I just started somehow with the 20 and then I put in the 9. So like I said, this is not really something I'm paying. I just want to see, is this above? Are we in an uptrend? And is it staying above or below? The problem with all those indicators is that, as you probably already know, they are lagging indicators, and in different market environments and market cycles, you cannot use them. So if we go back here, it's pretty easy to looking back in a trending market. It's very easy to use those moving averages. But if we come here into that kind of a consolidation sideways market cycle or distribution side market cycle, you cannot use them, because look, first you're below, then you're going above, then you're below again. So here is it harder to really use them. So I have them just to see as an orientation, but the most important thing for me are those lines here which I'm drawing, which are the support and resistance. And so I didn't really paid attention how to choose those moving averages, and I don't make any decision only based on them, so to say.
Okay. Does currency come into play in your decisions? Do you pay attention to the euro, the dollar, anything like that, or it's just currency that you use to live with?
No, I'm looking at them, but I don't really trade them, because I just never found any consistency with currencies.
Okay.
I know a lot of traders who are successful with that, but my consistency came with those US indices and US stocks, and from there I tried to develop the strategy which I'm using, but somehow the currency never worked for me. I don't know.
Okay. And we're probably at this time of the interview where you could show your website. And do you teach or put out a letter? Do you have a business model besides your own trading?
Not really. So let me see if
I noticed you do have a website. So are you just
yes, I
kind
do.
of paying it forward and just trying to
Here,
help people? Oh, there you go.
here is it. I made a blog post yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here
Okay.
is it. I basically started all this for, just for trying to help some people having this YouTube channel. I don't know if a lot of people asked me for, personal trading. I started this, but it takes really a lot of time to develop someone. It's just not easy. It takes a lot of work, and the other people
Does.
have to work as well, so this is nothing.
And
uh,
patience.
yeah, absolutely. A lot of
Really.
patience.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of patience to teach. So interesting. So you just you're sharing your journey and things that you're looking at on your website, and there's no charge. Is that correct?
Correct. I'm having a watch list this is also free, a watch list every week where I am putting my top three stocks with my fundamental and technical analysis. And this is basically my growth stocks, which I'm looking at. So they're been pretty nice plays, and a lot of people made money on this watch list. And I'm happy to see, that someone really makes use of this.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, where are you going in the car? I see you're driving somewhere. Were you driving to get set up for this interview? But looks like a Mercedes to me. The only thing that's missing, and have you noticed this, Sylvia? It kind of makes me laugh. You know how some people market and they show their Ferrari parked and they're getting on their private plane, and they have the secret to trading, and it's only
No,
going to cost you $999.99. But yeah, so
no,
I
this is
really,
I'm a Mercedes fan, so this is
yeah. Okay, now I know why you moved to Germany. Okay, so so you could go visit the plant and pick out your car custom. You
yeah, I
know,
do this, yeah.
yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So how are things in Germany right now with COVID? Are you guys in some type of lockdown right now in
We are
Germany?
currently in a light lockdown, yes. So they are basically closed, the restaurants and everything else. Schools are open, and
Yeah,
we are allowed to go out. Fortunately, there are some countries where you're not even allowed to go out. But
yeah,
so I'm glad about this, and I hope this is going to be soon over with this vaccine
yeah. The whole
somehow.
world.
But
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I don't see it coming very soon. I know there's a lot of euphoria after those news, but I think
yeah.
it's gonna take a little bit.
Maybe another year at least, huh?
Probably, yes.
Yeah. Well, if I'm ever in Germany, I'd like to go for a ride with the top down with you. But you know what you become after having an interview with me? And, and I was very gentle. Some people I really grill. But you're now my trading warrior sister.
Nice.
All right. So, you have a wonder, really, I admire your courage, Sylvia, and really hope that you have continued success, and perhaps one day, you and your family are all in one location, and
Thank
hope
you.
that you all remain untouched by this invisible enemy. And really, you're kind of a testament to um, to being an overcomer, because this is not really an easy thing to do. And if you're making a living doing this for yourself, you're a rarity. and
Thank you. It
and
is hard.
really, it is. And I commend you for having the courage and the persistence and to overcome the adversity that we all have to overcome as traders. Congratulations.
Absolutely. It is a
And
long and hard journey. So, and lots of patience, but you know that probably. So thank you a lot
yeah, it
for
was
that.
really nice meeting you and everyone. I would go to Twitter and follow Sylvia. She has no axe to grind, and pay attention to some of the things she's doing. You're looking at someone who makes her living off the market, and I'm glad I reached out to you on Twitter, Sylvia.
Thank you to Dale. I'm glad we had this beautiful opportunity to talk to each other. I'm happy to connect with other traders, and it was a pleasure to me to talk to you.
Okay, well, we will do this again, and good hunting, and I hope you have a great fall trading season.
Thank you. Have a great trading, everyone, too. Thank you.
All right, Sylvia Bellrock, everybody. Tell me that isn't an inspiring story for everyone out there.
Thank you,
And
everyone.
yeah, and I'm inspired. So
Nice.
not perspired, inspired, and that's our turnaround Tuesday, everyone. So remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. Adios. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Thanks again, Sylvia.
Thank you
Adios.
too. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye. You're welcome, Trapal, Hugo, Michael. See you guys tomorrow.